I don't know how this video is going to come out, so I'm just going to shoot it and hope for the best. The sound might be a bit dodgy, or it's going straight by the webcam, so you just have to make do with what you're given. Ali, I had a time in my life when I reacted in a manner which had the same kind of vibe, for want of a better word, as what you've just said recently. I was someone who suffered for many years with a very serious health problem, and I didn't think that the world was doing enough to try and sort it out. And in fact, at that time in history, this particular health problem being a form of chronic fatigue syndrome related to ME in many different ways, was not actually regarded as something which existed by large chunks of the medical profession. People who accepted this disease at that time were regarded as being cranks or kooks or frauds or liars of any particular type. I was insanely angry about this for many years. I've of course since dealt with that. But never mind. I went to this event once, and it was a charity event, raising money for the RNLI, which is the Royal National Lifeboat Institution. These are the people who go and rescue people who are drowning, or go out to boats which are sinking and try and save the people. It's a very good, very worthy charity. And I reacted very negatively to this one particular charity event. Remember, this was many years ago. It must have been, well, I'm 37 now. I must have been about 19 when this happened. So it was a fair few years ago, okay? And I railed against them. And I was basically shouting, you're being sad bastards because you're not caring for something which really, really does matter. Okay, number of people who drown in the ocean each year is very small. Number of people who got this disease is very big. Get your priorities straight. That's basically what I was screaming, and that was as a result, realistically, of the fact that I was hurting inside. I was full of anger, of a type which was just like beyond comprehension to the average individual who's got a normal settled life, who has good health, a good career, good education, is a homeowner, and has only got to worry as to whether their, teenage son is smoking dope behind the bike sheds in school. It was a very serious issue for me. And I reacted because I felt the pain of all the people who were like me. I felt the pain of anyone who was suffering from a disease that the medical profession was regarding as being a lie, when in fact it was a hard and fast fact. Of course, medical knowledge has, of course, progressed an awful lot since those days. This is now regarded as being a real disease by the vast majority of the medical profession these days, so, everything's moved on. That's the way things are now. Things are a lot better now. But I reacted negatively because I was hurting inside. That's my point. And because I had empathy for other people who were suffering. Now, from your point of view, you are aware of the recent history. You're aware of the invasion of Iraq. You're aware of, everything which is happening in the world situation. That's a good thing. But you're doing now what I did when I was 19. But you're doing it with a historical situation rather than just a medical situation. But you're also raiding against something which is inappropriate. So I put it to you, Dawah, Ali, whatever name you really got or you want to go by, that you've got to do what I should have done when I was 19, okay? You've got to take proper mastery of your emotions and act more appropriately. And start to see things more like the way that they really are. Okay, you're acting because you're hurting inside. The people who are setting up this AIDS charity, they're trying to do something good. We as individuals, we're rather restricted. I mean, I can't, go to my Prime Minister and say, don't do that war. I personally can't do that. I'm a one singular human individual. I try and change minds within the sphere of life that I can. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do here. That's what I try and do with my work. I'm trying the best I can. It's better to be a small cogwheel in a big machine which is actually doing some good to the big machine than trying to be the big cogwheel and just, getting all the gear wheels all confused and screwing up the engine because you're not, you're jarring against the machine itself. Change will happen, but it will happen over time. It happened in the medical world as far as, understanding of chronic fatigue syndrome, ME, and all the rest of that's concerned. And it can happen in the political world with the Islamic people as well. Okay? It really can. But right now, deal with the fact that you're hurting inside. This is what I believe about you. Okay? I think you're just hurting inside. And I think you need to calm down. And I think you need to take a deep breath and realize that a different way of dealing with these problems that you're experiencing has got to be put into place. You want to tackle the world's problems, you want to solve the world's problems, you want to leave the world a better place for your children and your children's children and their children's children, fine. But do it in baby steps like all the rest of us have to. And we have to accept the fact that we have to do it in baby steps. Okay? Because that's the way it is. Maybe it's not the way it should be, but it is the way it is. I wish you all the best. Good fortune. God bless.